Get a giant cactuar plush for 100 USD from the Square Enix store. How big is it? Because $100 is steep, or especially 100 USD. Ugh. Oh, also, newest girl. um. I over 2 feet tall. Okay, well, that's pretty good. It's probably in the pose too, so it's like really square. And it is licensed shit, so it's gonna be expensive. God, I was gonna say something about I was gonna say something about the video you DM'd me, the summoner one, but then like I went and watched it because at first I thought, oh yeah, okay, here we go, ribbing me about being a summoner. Then I watched it and I was like, what's contagion? And like, yeah, that's right. Ifrit is the only good pet. Because it's the only one that will actually walk up to the enemy and use its ability when it can. Garuda like decides not to cast shit, and then fucking this yellow nugget here will just do his AoE when no one is near him. Because you clicked it at that time, obviously that means you want me to do it just here. This is very true. So I'm assuming we've probably got a lengthy queue ahead of us, doing a 8-man trial. Doing an 8-man trial right off the bat. No, not that. Yeah. Singularity reactor. Oh, 17 minutes is... I figured you'd like it. I also have an Alfie comic of the shows my swimming... Oh, an Alfie comic of the shows my swimming meme. Is part of that the name of something? I actually don't understand. What we will do in the meantime is... Limsa. Grab some ventures. Comic of the house my swimming meme. Oh. Shit. That is one good thing about like getting into games that are like relatively well established. There is a plethora of memes to be had. Granted, like, obviously I should probably get to the end of the game before I do that, because that was fucking quick. That was like 2 minutes tops. Okay. Oh no, is it too good to be true? Yeah, I do need more ventures. Oh. Never mind. Oh boy. Oh, well, at least we're getting right into it. Hey, buddy. God, his sword is so fucking cool.
Brothers, the time has come to call upon the true power of the Heavensward.
He almost said the thing.
if you will, warrior of light. I cannot.
I haven't.
Stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light. By my blessing shall all men be sanctified, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be. You reject my divinity, yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering? No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life.
Alright, I'm probably going to be quiet for most of this, so... Oh, shit. Oh, did they just run around the place? Okay. Oh, shit, he didn't actually do the thing. Damn it, I thought I was smart. Fucking... There we go. Oh, is this just like an intermission? What, do we break these, or... God. That was a mistake. Wow. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. I probably shouldn't have used my, thing there. Oh, that... Alright, I appreciate the mechanical complexity of this fight, but, like, just kind of going, here is nothing to hit for amount of time is kind of, in my opinion. Whoa. Fuck, okay. What's going on? That looks bad. Thank you. That was... Oh, rip. Good. Fuck every last one of you.
How? How can this be? A millennium of prayer and the eye's power combined, and still you stand. What are you?
Was that his sight, like... Okay, yeah. That was probably his sight going. I was gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I was gonna say, that was a letdown. In a very specific way that I'll point out after this finishes, because I don't want to interrupt this. Unless we're literally going to exit this now. Hooray. Yeah, so that was, like, clearly a victory lap, and obviously, it looked like there was a lot to that fight, right? But it very much felt like we stumbled through that. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You kill Thordin to a certain point, then you kill 2 of the knights. All of the other knights just kind of appear and dance around with their mechanics. And not much else. Like, obviously there's a ton of cool visuals where, like, Thordin, like, you know, kind of, warps reality and whatnot, takes us to space and whatever. And then, like, all the knights appear and they do this gigantic bloody attack that obviously, you know, you heal through. For him to be left at, like, 5 or 10% health. But it was a little more perilous when everyone was, like, eye level 140. Oh, yeah, okay. Fair. I mean, nonetheless, like... Yeah. Level 60 gear max is 270. But do they not, well, it's not really like maybe we blew past parts of the fight. Maybe we blew past mechanics. But if Savage is that fight only extended, and no other mechanical changes, which I know isn't true, like, that would actually still be a disappointment. That would be a boring fight. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of downtime where you're not really damaging anything and you're just dodging mechanics, which can be interesting if it's interspersed with actually lengthy periods of kind of damage. But in a fight like that just zoomed through, yeah. Anyway, it's probably different on Savage, and that probably has an item level sync on it, I would imagine. Yeah, I can't look at this right now. Savage is mostly the fight, but with almost no telegraphs. Ugh. Yeah, like, it's difficult for me to have an opinion on the fight design at this point, but...
It is over, then. I had hoped that mine would be the hand to end it. But knowing you, there was little chance of that.
Yeah, like I want to point out that I don't necessarily say what I'm saying as this fight is objectively bad. More so, like that felt like a letdown in that because I don't have a grasp of the game enough to really be like this is a flaw. So much as like this was my experience and that wasn't great. I want to be very careful with that because obviously this is an MMO with a different goal and design than say WoW. So I can't just take my own experience and say this should map onto that and it didn't. So yeah.
Would seem the eye has served you well. Its twin, at long last. All that remains is to take them beyond the reach of man and dragon both. With this task accomplished, my toil shall finally be at an end.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of this. Like, dude, you barely controlled one. I'm curious why Nidhogg didn't try to do this on us. Although I have a sneaking suspicion that Hydaelyn would... That you could easily hand-wave that away with Hydaelyn, Warrior of Light. That's not going to work. So, I'm really curious if this is like a perception of... There's like three outcomes that this Nidhogg could be. Right? Because if Estinian has essentially done what Thordin and Iceheart did, this is either Nidhogg through Estinian's eyes, Nidhogg through Nidhogg's own eyes, or potentially, if it's not actually a primal summoning, just fucking Nidhogg. I would wager the first two, though. Either Nidhogg's perception of himself, or Estinian's perception of Nidhogg.
Let us away, servant of Hydaelyn.
I wonder what Tiamat's reaction to this is going to be.
Damn it, do you always have to cut it so bloody close?
Always. I gotta put on a show. Oh, shit. Also, no one question why I'm riding a dragon. It would take way too long to explain.
It would seem he has done it again.
Was there ever any doubt? Let us return to Ishgard. Our friends will be eager to learn the battle's outcome and welcome back their champion.
Maybe? She knows. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, if she's just been sensing Aether, she should probably actually just know Nidhogg is around. That's fair. That's, yeah.
You are the first soul in Ishgardian history to arrive in our city upon Dragonback. This scene shall be remembered for 1,000 years to come.
I'm glad that actually came up, because canonically I literally rode Midgard Soma into city.
Archbishop summoned the soul of King Thordin into himself, and thence became a primal.
But he and his knights are no more, thanks to the Warrior of Light.
Your struggles are not yet over, mortals.
Whom do I have the pleasure?
Oh, you know, the father of all dragons. I hope that's not a problem.
I am Midgard Somer. I have journeyed with Heideling's champion and observed his deeds in the conflict between man and dragon. Tell me, children of Thordin, do you desire peace?
My people have committed unspeakable atrocities against dragonkind, even against our own. Would that we could undo these wrongs, but we cannot. Be that as it may, the future yet presents a chance to begin anew. Our nation has broken free of the shackles of a false faith, and Nidhogg shall lead his kindred against us no more. I doubt not that it will require much effort and perseverance. But 'tis my belief that in time, Ishgard will again become a place where man and dragon may abide together in harmony.
I shall remember thy words. Yet be warned, Nidhogg's soul liveth on. His unbridled rage hath claimed for its vessel the one thou callest the Azure Dragoon.
Bastinian.
Doubt not but that Nidhogg will call out to his brood ere long, nor that they shall answer him. Steel yourselves, for the true test is yet to come.
Come what may, we will never cease to believe. Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause.
1,000-year war cannot be ended in a day. It may take generations. What thou dost begin
entrust unto them thy hopes and dreams, that peace may reign again, and forevermore.
I was wondering whether we'd hit credits on this or not. Oh, shit.
Let all here present attest that Sir Emmerich, acting on behalf of the Archbishop, has appended his signature. I do hereby declare that from this day forth, the Holy See of Ishgard shall once more be counted a member of the Eorzean Alliance. Let our nations move forward as one and stand united against the Garlean Empire.
There's something about the Admiral just pulling out a fucking gun for this that...
The future of Eorzea.
For the future of Eorzea!
That just makes me laugh every fucking time. And not even like a pistol, like a double barrel, like... Damn.
There you are. A noble monument to a noble soul.
That'll be the shield. Yeah.
From here, Lord Orshafon can watch over all of Ishgard.
It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet come what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on.
That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions. Which means we're going to need money! And lots of it!
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's a bit on the nose. Oh, fuck. I am also a fan of Punished Raban. Fuck.
So ends a glorious chapter in their tale.
You know what I forgot to keybind?
However, tumultuous days yet lie ahead for Ishgard.
Actually, I don't remember if I got a full credits roll for the end of this, or the end of ARR here.
Yoke of the
the people take their first tentative steps into the unknown. And though they spy a glimmer of peace upon the horizon, Nidhogg's vengeful shadow yet remains to darken the way. Be that as it may, so long as the young commander of the Temple Knights and his heroic companions are there to guide them, the people may hold fast to hope. The hope that one day true peace will return to Ishgard, and that man and dragon may live in harmony once more. Let the deeds writ herein never be forgot, that they may inspire generations yet unborn to strive ever heavensward.
He said the thing. Right, so that whole speech from the Count was actually detailing our adventures for those to come, bearing Midgardsormr's words that we should preserve that memory. That makes sense now. AWR had credits at the end, 2.0, very long credits because they included all the names of the legacy players. Yes, I remember that. I think I hard skipped when it got to that point because I'm at least going to give this song some time to go through because this game's music has been fantastic. Also, the summaries are nice. This was the moment that the writing, like, really hit me in the face. Like, oh, fuck, things have improved. Granted, they actually pay off what they kind of point to here. Edge bug extraordinaire. Actually, no, there were just a lot of moments where it was like, oh my god, this is a huge improvement over the old expansion's writing. I wonder if they're gonna show it. or what they're gonna show of it. God, I wish we saw more of you. Granted, they're really not in a position to do that. Also, for maximum sadness, you should go to Ruined Vigil by Camp Dragonhead. I will. I don't know. On a number rating, I don't know. Like, it's so hard to kind of do that. Okay, this is kind of music as we've had before. Like, yeah, that's what I was going to touch on. Like, this game is obviously a massive improvement on ARR. I mean, I think that's an controversial statement. And I dislike putting numbers to stuff like that, right? Also, no endgame context. Well, yeah, that's another thing, right? I haven't gone through the post-leveling part of the game yet. There's still a lot left on the table. I guess I more have a problem with, like, what is it out of 10? Like, I don't... Putting that into a number has always been hard for me. Like, I usually like to compare it between them, and especially in a game like this, it's easy to contextualize, like, expansions to one another. This is way better written than anything I experienced in WoW, and ARR was already, like, kind of putting WoW to shame writing-wise, in my opinion. For the most part. I'm sure there are actually... from what I've experienced, which was, like, WoD, Legion, BFA. So, yeah, like... Out of 10, I'm like, I don't know. Like, that always gets hard because then you compare different things to each other. And I think I will have a better idea of that range once I go through everything. Because this is also telling stories in ways that I haven't experienced in an MMO before. So I need more of this to contextualize it a lot more. But I tell you, I had a fucking blast. I mean... Yeah, I assume there are going to be a couple of patches before I actually hit the point that I'm into, like, Stormblood and the story's over. But I guess what I'm more getting at is, like... A lot of people say this game is well-written, and it is well-written. But everyone often contextualizes that with for an MMO. And... because this tells, like... because this tells stories in a way that's different to me for an MMO, like, not only am I having to try and contend with, is this good story for an MMO, or is this good storytelling? I'm also just short on examples in that, because I haven't played too many MMOs that have good stories. So yeah, like, I'm still trying to figure out how I express how this game is telling its story well for an MMO, as opposed to just how it's telling a story well. It's like 40 to 50 quests between HW and Stormblood. Okay. But I mean, yeah, like the most I could say at the moment is this is the most enjoyable story I've ever played in an MMO. Of the ones that have had story. And like the last 10 or 15 of those the setup for Stormblood. Yeah, I imagine it's similar, but in a much shorter space of time, what ARR was doing probably around 2.4, 2.5. Like, condensed a bit because it obviously didn't last as long. They didn't need to rewrite nearly as much. Yeah, like... Yeah. It's real good. Hot take. FF14's writing, actually pretty solid. I was really wondering what was going to happen to that shield, because we don't really have a home? Yeah. Just love how it's captured the feeling of Final Fantasies better than some current entries. Now, obviously I can't speak to that, having played very few Final Fantasies. But, yeah, like... yeah. Like, I guess the thing I would specifically draw upon is that this feels a lot closer to a traditional RPG than the later Final Fantasy entries. Although, I beat it. No, so I got to the max level. I got to max level and beat the final quest for max level content in this expansion, which is the the first of 3. So I'm not nearly there yet, Pancakes. But how are you doing? Good to see you, man. I still like the new FF games, they're just different. Yeah, like, this... Like, the one thing I would say, though, is that an MMO has a lot more opportunities to tell very grand stories, or a lot of stories simultaneously. Like, the thing I keep pointing out with this game is that it loves to set things up very subtly and ramp things up over time by every now and then doing a quest related to it, until it actually becomes important. Now, you can do that on a micro level. You can do that to some degree in, like, long-ass RPGs in regular games. But you don't get to do the foundational stuff that you can do in an MMO, where you're going to be telling a story for years, you know? It's the one point where I'd go, well, hang on, let's back up a sec from, like... Obviously, this can't compare to, or this compares better than the previous Final Fantasies. It's like, well, it is also in a unique circumstance where it can blow out all of the, like, side content with story and tell complicated stories because you're going to be playing this for a long time. Not to obviously detract from that point, but it is something to consider, and it's one of the things I'm still kind of grappling with specifically, like... This game has an opportunity, or MMOs, because you're playing them for longer, have an opportunity to do more storytelling, because you're with it for longer. Like, how do you compare that to games that have to wrap up? Like, that, like, have to wrap it up in their big block, because... 14 can... Well, I mean, 14 could keep going. I think... I don't know if I should believe this person, or if they've spoken, like... maybe too soon, but I have heard that maybe the expansions for 14 are wrapping up. Or at least the story seems to imply something akin to that. Like, obviously, I have no fucking idea, not being at the end of the game. But, yeah. Okay. Did I... Whoop. No. That's not what I wanted. Oh, no, I gave myself one button to modify the scroll speed. I thought I didn't bind any of them, but I think, was it Wrong Way that was helping me with the UI stuff? Yeah, I just happened to do that, which is nice. So we'll blow through this in a sec. I could probably just skip it, but I don't really want to. It's been stuck on this Nidhogg picture for a while. Probably I'm a UI guy. There you go. I need to check something before I move on. Oh, there it is. God, that probably looked choppy as hell. I'm sorry. Mr. Housing. Oh. Mr. Headshot. Why does Matsuda have that nickname? Excuse me? Oh. I'm sorry, you on... Where are you? Igayorm.
Bested by mortals in their attempt to initiate the Eighth Rejoining. That they should be so complacent. And now it falls to me to deal with the consequences. Without intervention, the balance between light and darkness will begin to shift, placing our mission in jeopardy.
I will say right here, like, this obviously may not directly be the case, but this scenery to the general player would probably be evocative of the moon. And I don't know how literally I should take that imagery before we are revealed what this actually, where Elidibus actually is.
Hydaelyn's champion has grown too strong. His might encroaches upon the realm of gods. Equilibrium must needs be restored.
Is that fucking,
The time has come for you and yours to join the fray.
Is that Ariange?
Warrior of darkness.
Oh no. They're on the fucking moon! What? Well, a place that is, it could just be another planet, but given the fact that it's that close to the planet with no atmosphere. Excuse me? Oh, of course. This place will become important because it's being built up over time. Should have known.
Remind me, why is there no rest for the righteous?
Because they care, Master Garland.
SMT piano? I hate that we have the fucking text box here because I pressed enter. Is that the Empire? No. Thank you. What the fuck?
Of all the things they could have picked to play with, that's not a toy, you bloody fools, it's a primal!
What? What? That is a primal? Yeah, like, something about that reminded me... I thought the Empire at first, but, like... Spires of deception crumble to dust, to lay bare truths long concealed. Beyond simmering shadow lieth shimmering light. Alrighty, well I did it. After long years of estrangement, Ishgard rejoins her sister nations in the Alliance. Words cannot express my joy. None of this would have been possible without you, my friend. Change is coming to Eorzea, though it will inevitably bring with it a measure of upheaval, with hard work, peace, and prosperity are sure to follow. And yet, even as we look forward to the coming of a new age, we must needs be aware of old threats. The Lords of Garlemald have not relinquished their claim upon Eorzea, and we shall be forced to contend with them ere long. And then there is the matter of our comrade Estinian, claimed body and soul by Nidhogg. If there is a way to rescue him, we must find it. Suffice it to say, the path ahead holds no shortage of challenges, but together we shall overcome them. Uncertain future. Alfino wishes to share the latest developments in the search for the missing scions. Nice. Okay, so my bet was Thancred as the next one, just because we've got Y'shtola, the person who tried to teleport him away. Fortuitous timing as always, Aldine. Tataru was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then. Absolutely. You'd be pleased to hear that Riol and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Philemon, helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Limsa Lominsa, only to then disappear? Well, according to Riol, she crept aboard a ship bound for Rads at Han, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalimo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Riol thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. That makes sense. Yes, that would thank you, Alfino. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. And what of Thancred and Minfilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two, but it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is we've enlisted the services of a Sharlayan scholar, one of the students of Baldessian, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? Should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Aldine, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? Well, I mean, he's not here yet, so, I mean, yeah. In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know. Wait, really? At the bar? Alright. Right. I'm really surprised we haven't just asked Yashola where she was trying to send Thancred to. So...
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured. We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss? With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities.
Okay.
I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new Archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate. I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails? I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Oops. Maybe I should have landed on the end of the Excelsior before we left.
I could have concealed
Or
certain
before we got there.
But for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence?
That's also a very good point.
After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
Oh boy.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end. And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
Nidhogg. Methinks.
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir then? We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
Isel. God, the pronunciations in this game.
Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph.
He's regaining strength by snoozing.
As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
I know little of the lands these dragons called home, this annexed shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, Aldine and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. And let us go ahead and go and bid farewell to Tataru, Aldine. Luckily, she's just around the corner. So, what was your secret meeting about? I'm all ears. A diplomatic mission to annex Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with the Ishtola in Idleshire. Should be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be, time permitting, as I said. Shit. I hope this leg of the journey at least allows me to end up seeing who this scholar is before the end of the stream, but if we cannot pray, pass on our regards. Let us be off, Aldine. We have kept the first commander waiting enough. You could have waited 1 second, you fucker. Alright, let's go. You're ready then? Good, so am I. Alfino is ready to escort Lucia to Annex Shrine. The path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Rest we shall cross the Western Highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Dravanian Forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the sables await. Right, Tailfeather. This might be a good opportunity to round out some of the missing Aether points. Specifically in Kurthus. Because we got it there, we don't have it. We've got sorry, there's one here. We've got everything here. We're going to go back here for Y'shtola. We are going here for this quest, and we're not going at all here anytime soon. Cool. Oh, I just remembered a thing that I never mentioned, or I didn't, like, expound upon at the end of last stream, and it's to do with Tiamat. In hindsight, I was actually really glad that I kind of focused on the, like, unnatural kind of position that Tiamat was actually put in, right? Because I kind of described how, like, a living creature has literally been put on display. She's been put into a position that clearly seems really uncomfortable. She is horribly restrained, and her wings are just given span for the rest of her time there. Which makes the moment where she says, no, this is my penance for bringing back Bahamut, all the more weighty. Because, like, not only is it, no, I'm not going to release myself, it's like, no, I'm not going to release myself from this, like, clearly, oh, fuck, I had the perfect word for it, but I lost it. Like, this punishment that puts me up as a trophy and not as a living being. I will take that because I made a mistake, and that's... Oh, that's some shit. Northwest 1400. Is there another... There is not. Is it quicker to go back? I feel like it isn't. Oh. Yeah, I thought it worth talking about because like, there's obviously a lot of visual storytelling there that I took a second to kind of acknowledge that, oh, look, she's actually kind of, like, put up in a position where it would clearly be uncomfortable, or would seem to be uncomfortable. But I never really communicated how, like, that actually kind of, really solidified the level of, regret and also conviction in this being her punishment, that it was that bad. Yeah. Shouldn't be that surprised because dragons, but at the same time, that's... Oof. But then again, like, Bahamut is the Elder Primal. Like, if there was one thing to resurrect, that is the one you don't want to. And, like, yeah. The Seventh Calamity would not have happened, but for her. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's exactly what I was about to touch on. Like, you know, it's hard to fathom something like that, but at the same time, it's hard to fathom being the direct cause of something like that. Yeah. But also, like, we already got a bit of a taste of it from, Hraesvelgr. But, like, Nidhogg is obviously an awful fucking monster. But the dragons aren't. At least not by nature. Clearly observed in, like, the fact that it is possible for someone like Hraesvelgr to not hold that grudge despite the obvious, very clear reasons he could. Or for Tiamat to believe that eternal prostration as a trophy for another kingdom is punishment for raising something like Bahamut again. 133. Bridge over frozen water, protecting what's important, baby steps for all the nights to come. How many, I'd imagine that one of the quests that unlocks one of the Aether points would involve going into that dungeon. That would seem to make sense. Not that I'm going to do this now, but I thought it worth commenting on, just so I remember that in the future. Shouldn't be too far from here. Other side of the bridge, maybe? Oh. Oh, right in there. Nice. And again, that is another reason why this game's storytelling has really... Or another example of this game's storytelling, like, really being elevated, because it's using, like... It's... What the hell am I trying to say? It's using the form in which you see a character as a visual communication of a lot of information. Like, first off, obviously she was captured, but the fact that she's fine with that obviously demonstrates her level of regret, like I said. And I mean, there's a lot of really good, like, kind of background and stuff you get from Tiamat in connection with all of that, but it's all in service to telling the story, not just telling you how great this past civilization was. Like, it actually develops the character of Tiamat in front of us. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army, and here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past, though it was... Though it was I who first proposed recruiting, I immediately forgot how to pronounce her name again. It was Essel? Asil? Asil. I think it was Asil. To our cause. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands. Men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side she fought in service to that greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will remember not be remembered merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino, yet who can say what may come to pass, or might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit. Wow. I'm glad I sound smart when I'm talking about narrative structure and design and communication of character, because I cannot words for shit. Yes, of course. We must press on to Annex Shrine, if you will follow me. Well, I at least sound I at least sound like I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about narrative. When I'm just reciting lines, it's like, oh my god, this person can barely read. Sure. And I'm just gonna cheat there. Because I have gotten all of them here. Yeah, good. There's no reason for me to dawdle. Thank you. upstairs. Which one of the dragons are we meeting? I feel like we haven't talked to... I feel like we talked to these dragons maybe, like... Or one of the dragons here once or twice during the main story quest, and that was it. I mean, granted, they've got some... Clearly got some quests here, but... Here? No. Oh, no. Vidofnir. Oh my god, how did I forget we were here to see Vidofnir? That's so dumb. Now, I'd ever welcome here, friend of... a seal. But this one I do not know. Yeah, so this is another person... Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed. You may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed our kin to be the architects of this war. But now we know the truth. The King Thordin and his knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatoska, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Isil. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, and Isil once did. And we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. What are the Nath doing now? I don't like the design of that dragon. It's terrifying. I mean... Yeah. Personally, I'm a fan of it. But then again, I like designs with, like, big horns, so... Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. I like the dragon design. Yeah, like... I mean, if you look really hard at Nidhogg, like, he's basically got teeth kind of coming out of the sides of his jaw before they curve down. Like, the protrusion of his jawline is actually mostly teeth, which is obviously very monstrous. I had something else to say, but I completely lost it. Maybe I'll think of it in a minute or two. So soon. My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. It's a step. Not a huge one, but I mean... Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I'm surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue us to Sharalain. We hope to, like... Words. Sharalayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, on which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. This is a lot of game ahead of us. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. That was a bit more pointed than I expected. Alright. Alphino is eager to set out for Charlayan. I don't recognize that person, so maybe it's a relative of Tataru. Or someone Tataru specifically knows. So, it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. And I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. Can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idleshire. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Well, that's something I didn't think of. If Y'shtola did actually send off Thancred, but Y'shtola got sucked in, it's possible that Y'shtola even doesn't know where Thancred ended up, and contacting someone like someone from Charlayan would make a lot of sense then. Because scholars and magic. I would be really surprised if we didn't track down Thancred first. Like, again, I know I keep saying this, but, like, there is, like, quite literally... He is the only person we have a decent lead on, and that's because we found Y'shtola first. Ah, Haldane, 'tis good to see you. I confess I had assumed your business in our Annex Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmerich's proposal with Reisfelger, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlayan guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I'd agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Alright. The road to 70. Experience earned while below level 70 is dramatically increased. Is that person in... Oh, he's doing the same thing we are. Hi, friend. Click locks.
Terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Charlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Does, Alphino recognize her?
Please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir. And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself?
Oh, Alice.
Someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago.
Oh.
I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
That was a bit more familiar than, met.
It was was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
Fear.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Oh, I like her already.
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking.
This is gonna be fun.
Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
I mean, to be fair, me guessing this is not anything. We're basically just doing the same thing we did with Y'shtola, but leveraging the experience of someone far more experienced.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best you explain your plan to her in person.
Alright. Got some more here to look out for. 179 south. My guess would be... Oh, right there. $597 east. That is over the other side of the thing, I think. Oh, well... How far have we traveled so far? No, that's going to be on the other side. Oh, I'll have to get that another time. And yeah, she's great. I guess I have a huge thing for like wise old characters who like to rib their students, and like not in a way that's like very specifically tied to like the age difference of someone, but rather just like, oh yes, this person was all high and mighty until they got to college, and then like, yeah, I don't know. I really love that dynamic. I guess it helps that I also really like mage characters, and they tend to fall into archetypes like that a lot, but... Jesus, the wind has not let up the last, like, week. Fucking amazing. Oh, there they are. Oh, go the fuck away. They disappear from the minimap. Do they get... Yeah, okay, cool. So they leash when they don't appear on the thing. That's good to know. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? The prospect of meeting the famous Master Matoya seems to have set Kryl thinking. I've heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread.
Trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
That is very rich coming from Y'shtola. But I guess, like, that's like a little jab that only Matoya will get, because I think she's the only one who's aware of, Y'shtola's ailment.
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
I'm sorry?
Kryl, you too possess the echo.
Oh no, this character's gonna die. Oh no. Oh, I hope I'm wrong about that, but...
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand. But precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the signs of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
It's a crystal of light, eh?
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light.
Have we got one? Like, I don't know if I can count the crystals we've collected that like gives us the whole like seal cinematic. I don't know if she's actually... I don't know if Heidelin has actually given us a crystal light. Or at least... at least I can't recall.
But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
Interesting.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even. The traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola.
Did that just imply that the beasts... Oh. Oh, okay, so not the beast men, but probably, like, literal beasts. Like, if I just took a bug out and... Yeah, okay, cool.
Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Soam Arm. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
I'm actually surprised at the setup to this scenario. It would seem like really obvious that like we'd have a conversation of, okay, why don't we just do the literal thing we did before, which is use the live stream to track down Thancred. And we could obviously say that, well, that doesn't quite work the same way. There's probably a trail, but the reason we were able to find Y'shtola is because she was still in it, and the elementals found her. Which I guess Kryl kind of hinted to as like, yeah, like, we're going to use a similar method to how the elementals did. Oh, sorry, no. That was how, that was her explanation of how she could communicate with anyone. Yeah, like, hey, good, whatever time it is over there. It is, well, I mean, top right, Charles. There you go. How are you doing? Isn't it, like, super early for you? Like 4 or something in the morning early? I might have the wrong coast there. I'm not sure. But yeah, like I'm really like the storytelling has usually been pretty on point in terms of like this is the reason we need to do this avenue of investigation. And I feel like there was a dropped moment. No, it's like 7 a.m. Oh, right. Okay, I can't math. Ignore me. That's embarrassing. Well, or good morning. Yeah, this game's been pretty good about, like, kind of, why can't we just do the thing we did before, sort of thing? Where it's like, oh, well, actually, there's a reason we can do that. And it seemed like there is, because, like, we used the elementals to find Y'shtola, we followed her trail, and she was still there. That's how we were able to locate her. And you could easily say something like, well, Thancred may not actually be in there, so we need to employ something else. I'm kind of surprised we skipped over that bit and just went, oh yeah, we can use someone to find Thancred. Like, obviously, incredibly small thing. It doesn't really matter in the long run, but, yeah. Right. Walking anywhere is going to be dumb. Actually, I think I might take this opportunity to have a quick break. Because there's probably, like, I've got probably, like, another hour 20 in me. And it's almost been 2 hours, so... Zoom in on my pretty face. And, we'll quickly take a break. You would. Take a break. Yes, no. Doey, I actually have, something, in OBS that is invisible to everyone, that alerts me when you come across the stream, and I immediately take... And I'm starting to employ a thing where I immediately take breaks when you're here. I can't talk and type at the same time. Sucked in. Alright, I'll be right back. Well, luckily for you, Doey, I'm not actually going to do that, so... I wonder. Who is this person dancing immediately in front of me? Oh, look! There he is. You're in my shot, dipshit. Alright. Oh, shut your fucking mouth, you dipshit. I'm not dignifying that with a response. Fucker. Ugh. Right, I find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness. My first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kryle. I've already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory? Oh, go away. A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split up into 2 pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Aldine and Kryle question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Lothast Vath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. Why, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Great. Anyways, we had best get started. Find me when you're finished making your rounds. No, stick around and we can, like, gossip about, Alphino for this entire quest. I would actually enjoy that a lot. Alpard. Searching for your friend, searching for a friend of yours? Let's have a look then. A surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alphino may have mistaken his life's calling. No, I ain't seen him around. Sorry. Damn. You got that aura around you, bro. What's that you've got there? A sketch? Whoops. This one. Oh my god. Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. The way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of the bleeding ball. Sound like your man? It sure does. By the way, on those handover windows, you can right-click the target section, and it shows you all the option you have in your inventory to hand over. Easier than selecting it from the bag. Okay. Wait. You can right-click... Oh, okay, right. So instead of, not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? So I can do this instead? Right. Oh, that's easier. Nice. The ghosted icon, yeah. Cool. I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. That's definitely... Oh. Well, there is one Huron person with an axe we've seen so far. And that is not good news. That is not good news at all. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found. That is a very tucked away place for some reason. Now, we've got everything here, don't we? Yep. Cool. Yeah, so if I was to make a guess, that second description was of the Warrior of Darkness. Or, rather, the Warrior of Darkness, who seems to wield an axe, is the most prominent person I can think of that is a Huron with an axe. Just, like, specifically an axe. I'm assuming, like, the fact that the game points that out is important. It obviously contextualizes it in being like, well, most hunters don't walk around with an axe. That's kind of weird, but obviously that means something to us as the player, who is privy to knowledge the others aren't. Well, my apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so for receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Huron hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chance to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. Hey, I should point out that this guy is wielding an axe. So you've heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You were implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead? Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the livestream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never... Okay, good. I was about to say, this game has avoided the anime thing of making a really big deal about a naked woman appearing in front of people. And I'm glad this immediately got shut down, because Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Kryle. Quite right. Potion. Oh, we just get both. Oh no. A little slow, a little late. Alfino would like very much to continue the search for Thancred. Although I wonder if this is going to be like a slight diversion into a side quest to start the extreme primals. Actually, hold on. Oh, I can't do that. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Loth Est Vath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone. Come along. Right. Ravana was already hard, so the next one up would be extreme. Cause yeah, if extreme shouldn't be during main story questline. Well, I mean, I don't mean that, I'm going to literally do an extreme as part of that. I mean, like, this is probably going to allude to the fact that the extreme is going to be accessible through a different questline. If I was to guess, just seeing, Ravana, back. We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. Remember correctly, the extreme should be at the Rising Stones. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not. How curious. The hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey? No, he is not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He is a friend to the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly? And you are certain it was this man? Don't remember this far back, but extremes are normally done on a fabled retelling of what you did during the hard version. Really? Because ARR, that's, because A Realm Reborn, when we were doing, like, Garuda and that, it was just contextualized in, oh no, the Beastmen have summoned Primal again. Like, it's not actually a retelling. Or, it's not framed as a retelling. It's framed as, no, it got summoned again. I thought we were just going to continue on with that, but it certainly looked like it was going to, but truly, yeah. There is no doubt. The fleshling clothed in skins came to us from Som Al, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was, much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Loth Ast Nath, not long ago, when he heard the One Mind had summoned our god once more. Ravana has returned? Vidofnir did say the Nath had grown as before, which would align with stuff that's happened in the past when it's come to questlines like these. But what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honoured Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as a sacrifice. Where is it again? Yeah, directly south. I'm glad that I'm actually starting to recognize some spells now. Lol, no flying. Yeah, I didn't do the side quests, so that's fine. I figure at a later date it'll serve me more for getting XP for characters, having more quests to do. Granted, we've had a lot of discussion about whether that's actually worth it or not. Specifically blocking myself from flying, but like, Like, I'd probably be avoiding teleporting back to town, if I had flying. Which means so long as I'm getting to and doing the quest objective in a certain amount of time, I wouldn't make the trek back just doing this. In terms of fastest leveling, it wouldn't be through quests at this level. I understand that, but obviously I'd also be waiting through queues and stuff like that, which presents me with downtime, which could be an opportunity to do something like that. I don't want to have this discussion again, because I feel like I've had it every time it's come up, and like, yeah. Oh shit, I should have someone else out. No, no queues in tower or palace, just saying. What do you mean by no queues in tower?
Thancred! It could be Thancred! We must hurry!
Excuse me? Oh. So it is him. Uh-oh. We both have the echo.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever.
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not. So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea.
Interesting that this guy bears a striking resemblance to the character that is meant to be the stand-in for the Warrior of Light in the trailer for Heavensward. Wait, do they all have it?
It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
That looked like Flare. Oh, there's our boy. Oh. The fuck is Papa Nier doing in this game?
Not very sporting of you to interrupt, but so be it.
Fuck you, buddy! You attacked us out of nowhere!
Mark well our faces, warrior of light, for we are the warriors of darkness, walkers of a different path, and we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Hey, buddy.
Thancred, are you all right?
I can't believe they made him even hotter.
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
I honestly didn't think we'd be running into them so soon. Or running into him, which I guess turned into them.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our party? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the altogether. Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of like it was kind of like me and Alphino. Like, I feel like Alphino's old voice actor can conveyed the ego a bit more than the current one does. Yeah, it's a weird thing where the over the top or maybe like not well directed voice acting actually still worked, and that changing all the VAs may have been a bit much, but obviously there are circumstances with like ARR and everything afterwards, so.
Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement.
Yeah, that's what I would have assumed, and that's kind of why I said that, because like I obviously can't speak to literally anything regarding voice acting more than how it is in game.
From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
Hi.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed Warriors of Darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the Warrior of Light, I suppose.
Though, interestingly, they don't like the Ascians. Well, don't like the ones... don't like the black-robed Ascians. We did see one of them talk... We did see the axe wielder conversing with Elidibus, who has always stood out even amongst the Ascians, or especially amongst the Ascians, but has always stood out in doing things differently and almost without regard to them.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting...
Okay, we are actually going to talk about this.
An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Alphino is lost in thought, doubtless ruminating on the implications of your encounter with the Warriors of Darkness. Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down primals. Despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumours and attempted to recruit them to our cause. That's actually a really good point. We, of all people, should have probably known that these people existed. Unless they popped up very recently. I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like. Nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how I found Aldine. Ah, the memories. It seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of many merry men and women had killed a god. Also, very good point. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge. It would imply gross negligence on our part. Although, I don't know if it's been implied. Because there are obviously some points in which the game has pointed out that you are recruiting people for things like raids and trials, or specific trials. But I'm wondering if any of those had crossover with the primals. Because if it did, then that would be an acknowledgement that the adventurers I were choosing were also protected against tempering, which would seem to suggest that they have the Echo, also similar power. And then we should have known about that, because I've been adventuring with people like that. But I don't think I can think of a specific example where against a primal we have been acknowledged to be using people. Or using others. Wait, no, did that not happen for Leviathan? I feel like that was acknowledged. Might have even been acknowledged for, Bismarck. Because wouldn't the argument then be that, yes, there were? Oh, but I guess... no, hang on. I guess the implication is that I'm still different and I'm, like, the Warrior of Light rather than just someone with the Echo. Yeah, that bit is a little... I'm not actually sure how to interpret the interaction of all those things. Speculation will avail us naught. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Emeric's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia. Wait, Minfilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Aldine. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. Oh, okay. Wow, they just literally teleported us here. I appreciate that. I wonder if Lucia is still around here. Or Lucia, sorry. I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard. Sorry, did you want that Warrior of Light versus Person with Echo question answered, or were you just thinking to yourself? I was thinking to myself. If there isn't an answer... Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase this. If the game doesn't end up saying anything about that, then I would like to know the answer. If the game, however, is going to explain that later on, then I'll just let it go for now. Yeah, sorry, like, sometimes I just sit here and speculate. That's kind of the process I go through when I'm, like, really, like, analyzing the story and that. My thanks, Vidofnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Nath, has again been laid low. Truly. Once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Okay, this is a very important point. Are we going to actually say that this wasn't us? Okay. Would that we could take credit. The god fell by another's hand. Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation? As promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken... Hearken? Is that a word? I mean, listen, but...
Hearken.
I thought Harken was Harken. Huh. There you go. For 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy kind betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth she wrapped herself in a dream, yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed, and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe, such is the folly and the glory of man, and of dragon. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you and walk in the light. Then you accept Sir Emeric's invitation? Let it be known that I, Vidofnir, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honoured to receive your answer, and will convey your words to our allies without delay. Awesome. Pronounced Harken, archaic spelling. Yeah, that was the thing that got me. Of course the fucking dragons speak like that, though. It is happening, Isil. What would that you were here to see it. Uh-oh. It's raining.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another.
Are y'all really gonna...
Honorable men, to whom Sir Emeric was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men, who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men, whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
I was always under the impression that, Emeric wore armor. I really did not think that a knife like that would have actually got him. Seems a bit, not consistent. Also, I pimple burst, so I'm just making sure I don't, bleed all over myself. Where are we going? Oh, there they are. Right, let us not keep Sir Emeric waiting. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes, quite well. Forgive me. You have given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Ishgardians and the Dravanians, and our friends nowhere to be found. 'Twould seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head-on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks, and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you, as they found me. In time, we will find Ida, Papalymo, and Midfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will all look back on together. Pray do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphant moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that we will enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough, and you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation. Emmerich's dead. I mean, I joke, but like... There's Lucia. You have returned. In this, at least, the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. Pleases me to inform you that Vidofnir has accepted Sir Emmerich's invitation. She has. These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Ah, he is otherwise engaged? Aye, sleeping off a knife to the gut. What? What happened? Will he live? The chirurgeons tell me he will make a full recovery, but had Lord Edmund and Lord Atoyrel not been on hand when the assassins struck, he would not have been so fortunate. For a mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land a telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flames. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been dousing the fires, but for every one we put out, it seems like two more start up. Casualties are mountain, especially in the Broom. 'Tis plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. Oh boy. Primal accessories. Fending and slaying. What are the differences between those? The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Fending equals tank. So I'm guessing slaying is like melee. Or melee damage dealers. DPS then. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise locations where the fires were set? Mayhap there's a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city in both the pillars and the foundation. Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it best to divide our forces. Master Alfino and Mistress Y'shtola, I should have you take charge of the investigation and foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Tataru can be of assistance as well. Meaning Aldine and me will get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Thancred of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And may I say what a pleasure it is to meet you too, my lady. I'll bet. The name's Hilda. A scion, eh? Now I was thinking I'd found a fellow ruffian amongst all these illustrious personages. I will remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray inform me immediately. That is all. Yeah, I guess we have to personally be around for Thancred making jokes. Or, Thancred and Hilda being in the same place. Well, we could begin by sifting through charred rubble and questioning random passers-by. In my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Ah, that's basically Hilda, I think. Oh, aye. The infamous Lord Emanel... Oh, yeah, Emanelaine, of course. Lord Emanelaine de Forton. Lover of women and wine, though neither care for him that much. They say he could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Aldine. He'll be at the Crozier, most like, making an effort to be seen, so let's go and see him. Grizzled. Will accept. Grizzled I will accept, but old? I mean, you've got, like, you've got, like, snow white hair and, like, not much going on with the facial hair, my dude. Or, like, disheveled enough... Oh, sorry. You haven't got a beard and it's not clean shaven. I mean, yeah. There. Reading. Oh, there he is. God, poor Honorari. Well, if it isn't Aldine, dearest of all my friends, you're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old boy? The city is burning. Ah, yes, the arsons. Dreadful business, that. Awfully curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of the other houses. Can't have the old pile going up in flames, after all. Oh, in case you were wondering why the Hoplin is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. So Emmerich's orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man. Not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old boy, if you were thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hoplin. While you conduct your inquiries, I could offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Wait a moment. I know what this is. You'll give me one of your looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old boy. I will have you know my heart yearns for but one rose, prickly though she may be. Who? I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well. If it helped to... Oh, right. Lady Lenny in Cloudtop. I forgot about her. Shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I had hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? It wasn't me, it was my player character. Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. Well, you question the refugees in the Hoplin, Aldine. I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? You know what? I reckon I would. Can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. No, that already happened, and he managed to fight his... Wait, you know what? This is irrelevant. Alright, where are we going? So someone stabs Emmerich and then sets fire to everywhere. Interesting. Come, my brothers and sisters, there is food and shelter enough for all in the Basilica. Holon's... God damn it. Holon's blessing something. Confess we were not sure if we should come. There are so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Emmerich and the Dravanians. Trust in your heart, brother, and pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Oh, it's a blender. Or food processor, rather. Do you require succor as well, sir? Here I am dressed up as a fucking well-accomplished adventurer, and he's just like, oh, would you need feeding as well? Given the context of this game, that actually seems really weird. So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good. This madness has gone on far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell, and may the Fury guide your steps. Oh, shit. There was a man with a satchel. I saw them kneel on outside the window, and then there was smoke everywhere, and it was so hot and I couldn't breathe. I don't remember how I made it out. I suppose I must have climbed. Maybe my arm is getting better after all. Unruffled refugee. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire began. It was only when I heard our neighbours shouting that I looked up outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with the clothes on our backs. Were it not for the church's generosity, I don't know what we'd do. Oh, it's not fucking here, is it? Ugh, god damn it. Why does the city have to be so windy? Oh, right. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? We require more than muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we were to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near Saint Raimono's cathedral and another near the tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Others might question how such ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on the two occasions where when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it gives one cause to wonder. Alfino will doubtless have an opinion. You see, I was gonna say, like, so they stab Emmerich, they light the place on fire, but obviously the lower, the broom and stuff like that is gonna be the one to suffer. Like, the really obvious, like, knee-jerk reaction to this would be, aha, so it was, all the low end. But if I had to put my money on something, I'd probably say it's someone either in the middle or playing both against the middle. Where is he? Oh, there they are. Oh. They've got someone. Oh, unless this is the person that... No, it's not. Silence will avail you naught, sir. Ah, Aldine. I was just about to summon you. As you can see here, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words. He did not, so we insisted. Let me go, damn it. You've got the wrong man. My, but you reek of oil. And are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose. But tell me, does arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile. Look at me. Aye, that you are. After a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about how his pet mongrel slipped the leash and set about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you, but then these highborn types rarely do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you rabid and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks. He's the one who told me to keep going. There it is. Got him. Even a sinner such as me could find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I'd left it behind. Tried to, with all my heart. Said my prayers every day, like a good man. But he came to me. He came to me. And there you have it, Hilda. Would you be so kind as to escort our friend here to the congregation? Aye, as long as you don't mind if he's limping when he gets there. I like her enthusiasm, but also, let's not get carried away. That was incredible, Thancred. But how did you know he would confess? He didn't. Oh. Well, I've seen his like before. A troubled soul, manipulated by men of power and wielded as a weapon. I could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, he was obviously bluffing to some degree. And if our captive had called your bluff? Must we entertain hypotheticals? The world as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it best that we now return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. His PhD is in survival and information gathering, though. Yeah. It is. Like, it's not at all surprising, that he'd, like, click onto that real quick. But I guess my point is more that, like, he didn't have to be right. That was a very smart play to begin with, because on the chance that, they were actually in cahoots with someone, playing up the divide between the two would obviously be very smart. I've got 9. And I mean, that is part of information gathering, is like being able to pry information out of people, and that is one way to get it. Assume they just are, and if they are, just, you know, fuck, I lost the word there. Rub it in somewhat. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak, though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master. He will soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Oh. Pardon the intrusion, First Commander. Ah, Lord Atoyrel. You come to see your father? He is attending Sir Emmerich in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring this salve. Then do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. You came here just to say that? Oh, okay. My lord, Artoyrel did not seem to be in the best of spirits. It's his little wonder, Master Alphino. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. Okay, so as a summoner, I'm assuming getting either of these is kind of pointless. Well, at least for my gearing purposes, this isn't going to offer me much, right? Right, you want off-casting. Right, okay. So I guess I could just take Fending and save that for a tank when it gets to that and use it. Because I don't have any jewelry that applies to anything other than summoners right now. Casters right now, so... It'd be handy to at least pick up for now. Yeah, cool. Oh no. Fuck. As goes light, so goes darkness. The seer is not one to rest on her laurels.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
That was quick. That did not sound confident.
Lord Commander, your wounds
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
Or have already reacted.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
Heck. And I guess now that I'm looking at him, he does actually wear a bit more robish attire than, like, actual armor. I guess I always presumed because of the sword, the shoulders and the legs, that there'd be, like, plate under this, but...
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
ridiculous. I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Emmerich would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
You're wounded.
Of course.
Unless he's not going to literally go into battle, but...
We are in your debt.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
This is but a scratch.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms, then, friends. Time is against us.
I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Right. Okay, so it's just a thing. Yeah, you know what? We'll do this. Listen well. We will enter the Basilica silently via this gate. According to our reports, there are at least 6 hostages being held within. The numbers and readiness of the true Brothers of Faith are unknown. I am told one claimed to have served under Thordin VII. Might the same be the true of the rest? Given the swiftness with which they seize control of the vault, I think it highly likely, yes. Which means that they may well possess the knowledge required to turn the building's defenses against us. Be that as it may, we have no choice but to press on. Lord Atwarel, you are a brave man and true, and none would dare question your honor if you chose not to risk your life in this endeavor. Are you certain you wish to join us? I am no stranger to the battlefield, Sir Emmerich. My arm will not falter, my shield will not break. Hallownay as my witness, we will bring these fanatics to justice. Well said, my lord. Friends, follow me. Don't see my presence yet goes unnoticed. Come, we must secure the entrance. Oh, you little shit. Did that seriously... Oh my god. I feel like the lag I'm experiencing on this is preventing me from actually using Death Flare, and it's really annoying. I'm not gonna get it. Damn it. What?
Down with you!
Oh. So you're gonna do that, are you? Fuck off. Oh, right. I don't have that. tab, damn it. Fuck.
You underestimate me.
Sir Simonard, lay down your arms and release the hostages, and you will be shown mercy. I give you my word. Ha! The word of a heretic and kinslayer. I would sooner trust a dragon. Activate the knights. We shall show the hostages the same mercy he showed the archbishop. Unlike you, Sir Emmerich, I am a man of honor. By my hand you shall receive of the Fury's judgment. So it is to be a trial, then. Lord Artoirel, Aldine, leave us and save the hostages. I will deal with Sir Simonard. Okay. Where would the other hostages be? Oh. No, that's blocked off. Shit. They're more back here? Oh, yeah, I can see them. Shit. Are you fucking serious? Oh, I can't even fast forward through this shit. Oh my... Fuck you in particular. Was Alfino with us before? I feel like he wasn't. Oh my... wrong button. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, back here, buddy. That's it. Thank you.
You underestimate me.
I haven't had to retry one of these in a very long time. That was really bad by me. Oh, skip. I know it's up. Yeah, I guess I really wasn't paying attention much when that enemy strolled down here. You... Fuck, that was too close. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just bad, but, like, it feels like you need to ignore the, Hello? Oh my fucking... Why? Just let me click on them. Fuck. Like, I didn't even end up, freeing these other two here. And I feel like I barely had enough time to actually kill off, that knight, but... Or that, yeah, knight. I think they called them knights. Why didn't a healer stay back and help him?
This knight light does not yield!
One more place to go then. Oh. I guess not.
Where is he? Where is he?
I don't like him walking off by himself. You have got to be fucking joking.
Come no closer! You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
Surrender to whom? The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
Then die.
Is it godly to spill the blood of an innocent child? To burn the homes of your brothers? Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen! Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers!
What just happened? There we go. Not a moment too soon either.
What? But
Hi, Vidofnir.
Vidofnir!
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment?
I think the complete opposite.
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
thank you for saving me.
Thou art welcome, child.
think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee. I bear a message from my sire.
From Freysfelder?
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing. This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
Such matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So it is as they say then. A great white dragon swooped down from the heavens to rescue an innocent child.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers? After 1,000 years, the world these men once knew is changing, and with ungentle swiftness to boot. Though their actions are misguided, their sentiments are only to be expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause. I share your desire for a lasting peace with the Jovanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of Horsefon you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Lord Edmund.
Someone's going to be a little jealous of that. This has been a day of surprises, has it not? 'Tis but a pity Vidofnir could not stay longer. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that she timed her departure rather less well than her arrival. Well timed scarcely does it justice, but one moment later, and later would have been a moment too late. Let us pray that the Ishgardians who yet harbour doubts will take these events to heart and accept the truth of Emmerich's words. Well, 'tis only meet that I inform. 'Tis only meet. It's only meet that I inform Tataru of what has occurred here. If you have need of me, I shall be at Foretold Manor. Allow me to accompany you. Tataru would never forgive me if I left for the Rising Stones without saying goodbye. What? Why are we going to the Rising Stones? A moment, Aldine. I wish a word. Tell me, does Thancred seem quite well to you? He held his own in the vault. That he did, which is especially remarkable given the injury to his eye. Oh, so he is missing an eye then, or his eye is at least fucked. We can only assume that his time in the wilderness afforded him ample opportunity to compensate for his impairment. However, I speak not of his physical state, but rather his etheric flow, which I fear has been irreparably disrupted. Well, I mean, I don't fucking know. I would never have guessed. As a result, I strongly suggest that his ability to manipulate ether has been compromised. Simply put, Thancred may no longer be able to wield magics. It would do much to explain why he chose to remain within the wilderness instead of seeking us out. He would have been compelled to rely solely on traditional methods of travel, significantly prolonging his journey. And when he learned that a nearby beast tribe was making preparations to summon a primal, it may well have seemed more sensible to wait. But this is still little more than speculation. Until I have proof, pray speak no word of it. Right then, should be on my way. Kryl may have charmed Master Matoya for now, but who can say how long it will last? I'm not finishing the stream without getting a reward from this quest. So she's also implying that, like, Thancred is incapable of using the Aethernet shards, which is interesting. Or the Aethernet in general, I suppose. Welcome, Master Felspark. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes, you shall.
Vidofnir should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
Hey there.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
Shield, my lord?
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue.
Actually, newest girl, if you're still here, where did you say I should go, near Camp Dragonhead?
But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house. Sir Emmerich was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat. Thus he intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Is that wise?
There must be another way to convince houses Durandare and Zemail.
So I said to him. Alas, he will not budge. Ever since I was a child, I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count?
Yeah, I guess I was, like, trying to figure out if there was a, more specific location that is at, but, yeah.
sound just like him. Aye, I suspect that is what Horsefall would have said. To aid those in need. When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way. You were a brother to Horsefall. Will you be a brother to me as well? Come, Manalaine. There's much to be done. For Father, and for Sir Emmerich, and for Ishgard. To think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
I honestly thought it would be him that's kind of like a bit more miffed at the situation, given.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
As goes light, so goes darkness. Where is he? Is he in that library we opened? Or went through? This is thy proof? The Gurin Oracles? Apocrypha? It is a truth long forgotten, a tale of the beginning and of the path we have been set upon. Our fates were ordained long ago, Archon. The Garleans are no exception, nor the Triad. You know what must be done. Alizé. Where's this? I wouldn't have done this if I knew all these cutscenes were gonna fucking happen. Oh! Well. Everyone has their orders. The masks will attack as soon as all units are in position. The Imperials won't know what hit them. I fear it will be bloody. Really? By Ralga, it had better be. We cannot stay here forever, Yidia. Or Ida, sorry. Oof, Yidia. That's a different thing. We have other responsibilities. I know full well what my responsibilities are, and I mean to fulfill them. Every one. So it goes. As once it was. Totaru is waiting to share good tidings with you and Alfino. Not going to set that just yet, although I did see that quest picture, so I know kind of what's coming up. But first off, excuse me? How could you possibly not recommend that? Oh, right, that was the incorrect coffer. That was the fending one. I was gonna fucking say, what the hell? There we go. Yep. We've hit 204. I think it's only fitting. Oh, no, I don't need to do that. That's fucking cute as shit. And we're gonna end this stream, since we're clearly kind of moving on from, this particular part of the story. I think it's only good that we, end it in the only place that feels right. I don't actually know where it is. I know it was, like, overlooking... Or it seemed like it was, overlooking this, but... Is that... No. Is there a point on the map that... Gates of Judgment... Dragonhead... Chocobo... Where is it? East, I think. Perhaps it's, Oh god, I really don't want to spend too long looking for this, but like... Oh, actually, you know what? It might be up here. Although this would be really fucking dangerous, given that it's right next to... Huh? Oh, god, go away. Decline. Oh, yeah, there it is. So, one final time. Whoops. Could not have been perfectly timed. Or could not have been timed any better. Oh, I thought he was going to stay like that. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, so that's going to be it for tonight. More of this tomorrow. We hit the end of Heavensward. And yeah, like I said, the writing in this has gotten, like, noticeably better. And I can't wait to see more of it. I don't know if what we just went through is, like, an entire patch. That definitely felt like the bookend of something that could have been a patch, but... yeah, I guess we'll find out. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you're watching live or on the VODs, I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.